Okay, let me put my disclaimer about this rant. Before I go any further, here is the trigger warning or disclaimer. There's about to be a lot of cussing in the video. So do with it what you will and take care of yourselves or whatever your boundaries are. Okay. So what people don't know about me is that I have an absolute potty mouth. I have an absolute potty mouth. It is what it is. I get it. It's what I am. Mostly everybody in my family has a potty mouth. We all cuss. Well, people don't know that about me because in work and professional life, that's not a part of myself that I usually share. But I wanted to give some folks permission because sometimes you just have to say, fuck off. I realize that I am the person that jumps to grace. If you Google me, more than likely you enter my name. If you enter my name and type in the word grace next to it, it will mostly be me, probably. I talk about it in everything I do. I talk about how I move in the world. I talk about how I relate to all the things that are happening in the world and clients and all of that. Because I do believe in grace. I believe that at the heart of grace is basically saying, I don't know what I don't know about you. I know everybody comes with a story, and I don't know what your story is. So I'm giving you grace because I don't know what you went through last night or this morning, right? But on the other side of grace is accountability. So all grace and no accountability, nothing changes. No, the behaviors don't change. The future doesn't change, right? You need accountability. But all accountability without grace is what we're looking at in our government right now, what we're looking at in our country, right? We're just going to make you accountable. We're not going to take into consideration any other factors. It's just accountability, right? But if you're like me and you tend to try to go high when they go low, you try to, reach for some higher ground. Oh, hurt people. That gets old and exhausting. Sometimes you just have to say, fuck off. I'm not dealing with this shit no more. I'm out. Try Jesus. Don't try me. I'm done. Right? This is especially helpful or relevant, I should say, if you are someone who has been abused, manipulated, gaslit, tortured, tormented by folks, especially if they're folks that were supposed to have your back, that betrayal. And you try to fight your way through it. You go to counseling, you do all these things, especially if there are people that were supposed to protect us, you do all these things to get over it. But the thing that we typically don't say, which is the beginning of the healing, is fuck you. Fuck off. Fuck this shit. I am no longer going to be a prisoner to your wounds and your trauma and your nonsense. Some of us, when we were young, there was somebody who told us something and we just adopted it as a truth. Oh, you'll never be. You're not good enough. You're fat. You're ugly. You're whatever. And we just took that in and we moved through our lives carrying that message in our DNA. If you are a believer, and this is what the medical statistics say, that our cells turn over every year, which means on January 1 and on December 31st, you're not the same person because all the cells in your body have flipped, have regenerated. The reason why we stay in the same loop is because our mind and our trauma is in our cells. It's at a cellular level. And if we don't do that work, we're continuing to flip all of our trauma, all of our wounds every year, and then we just bring it with us. I'm here to tell you that when you say, fuck that shit, fuck off, that kind of cuts off the victim energy. That kind of cuts off the trauma and wound energy. That is the beginning of cutting that off. Because what you're saying is, I'm not playing that game no more. I'm not allowing my life to be governed by something that happened by somebody who themselves were wounded. So they just passed it on to me. And I'm like, okay, I'll take it. At the end of December, somewhere around that time, August of last year through December, I was working with a client. I brought in a friend that I would have up until that point said, that is my brother. I love this person like a brother. They gone through whatever they gone through. And I'm like, here, let me help you. I paid them $100 more an hour, $100 more than they were asking for at the time. And in the process of doing business with them, I got on vacation. I was off for a month, and I come back, and he's, running things, and I come back, and we're kind of truing up, and and catching up. And I'm like, you charged a lot for that. Okay. I'm looking at the stuff, and I'm like, I don't see that much money in the work output, but I trust you. By the time I figured out that he had just been billing, just exploiting our relationship and exploiting the situation, I was in a position where I had to finish the contract and work for free for 2 months to recoup and not pass on the loss to my client. Fuck off. You know what you did, and that was fucked up. Oh, I felt so good doing that. So here's where I came to this today. Because last night I wrote a list of everybody who I needed to say fuck off to. I had a list of like maybe 4 people that I was like, fuck you, fuck off, fuck this shit, no more. This is the energetic cut right here. And once I cut this energy, I don't get to complain about it anymore. I don't get to have reactions to it anymore. Because once I've made the commitment that I'm cutting this off, it's not in my awareness. I'm saying, I don't want you in my awareness. I don't want you in my line of sight. I don't want you to worry my future. And the only way they come into my future is when I start to bring them in with that emotional energy that's tied to them. There ain't no emotional energy. Because you know what? Fuck off. As I'm going through this divorce, I had to say some stuff that I'm like, fuck the fuck off. When you're in a relationship with a manipulator and a gaslighter, let me tell you what happens. When you wake up and you look at the Goliath of lies and deceit, it's enraging. And what I won't do is go into my future and put all of that stuff on my next relationship. It can't come with me. I'm not doing bitterness. I'm not doing all men are, or there ain't no good men. I'm not doing none of that. And the way to not do that is to put all of that behind me. And the way to put something behind you is to feel what you feel about it and move on. We just don't get that. As women, we don't have that permission. It's this social acceptance, like men can fight it out and get that release and then move on. And have you ever seen 2 men? I remember in high school, there was these 2 football athletes. We were in the hallway at lunchtime watching them duke it out. And we're like, they're friends. Why are they rolling on the floor, punching and pummeling each other? By the night at football practice, they're like, oh, bro, I'm cool. We cool. Because there's a release. Women, we're not granted that kind of release. Now, on the flip side, men aren't granted the emotional, vulnerable release that I think is important. But we're not given that like, fuck this shit release. And so I'm here to say, as a matter of freedom, as a matter of your liberation, you can literally, in your body, cut ties, begin healing, and open the door to a whole life that wasn't possible because you're carrying all this drama. Fuck that shit. Fuck off. Do you know who the fuck I am? What I've done? What I've get? If you don't own it and don't have a way to really let that go and contend with and grapple with and feel what is happening, it will own you. It will make you sick. It will make you tired. It will make you sick and tired. It'll make you bitter. It'll make you energetically push away opportunities, love, business growth, all these things, money. Because when you have a wall up, you think you're just blocking in. What do you think you're blocking out? A wall is a wall. You're blocking out everything, both the good and the bad. So please give yourself an opportunity to reclaim your power. And one way to do that I found is to say, fuck the fuck off.